Hey guys, it's Brandis coming at you live, trying to give you just a little bit of information this week that can hopefully help you in your next couple practices getting ready for regionals and qualifiers and all that great stuff. So first off, thank you so much for doing an amazing job at clinics. It's hard coming on board, at the last minute, not really knowing everybody, but I just appreciate everybody's open arms and really grasping the concepts that we're trying to get across to the kids. And everybody's just doing a phenomenal job, really, taking the skills and breaking it down and trying to do it the AP way. So thank you so much. I know I haven't gotten a chance to meet everybody, but hopefully I'll get to see you in action at your practices coming up once I'm in the gym just a little bit more. All right, so a few things I got for you this week. So a lot of emails have been coming in from coaches talking about energy of their players. It's a kind of the season where illness is happening. People are tired. People are in off season or even tired. So how do you energize those kids and how do you pump them up and get them ready for your practice? So what I have done in the past is all of my club teams, all of my high school teams, we have different things. We always do pre-practice, so it's about where they come in, 15 minutes earlier. We sit down, we do a little, I call it volleyball school. So they, have their little journals, so they can have something like this that they're, jotting down their ideas on. I've also done, some journals like this, just very cheap. Very inexpensive. You can get super fancy and have little binders and stuff. It just depends kind of where you want to take this. But, I feel like when the coach sits down with the players and you really, that's a great time to talk and chat about, getting you on the same page and making sure that y'all's vision is aligned for what you're trying to accomplish. So do a volleyball school. You can talk about leadership, you can talk about nutrition, you can talk about game strategy. Do you remember when we were playing TAV and I called that timeout at, 10-10? What was our thought about that? And we have great discussions talking about volleyball with the kids, and I love to get their insight in those not heated moments. Nothing is on the line at that particular moment, but we really get to know each other as, what are they thinking on the court? And then what am I thinking in those crucial moments that they need to get inside my head? So that kind of just aligns us a little bit. The other thing I've done is I normally love to do book studies with my kids. The Energy Bus book is my absolute favorite book. Every team needs to read this together. The chapters are super short. They're like 1 or 2 pages long, but it really gives some good insight to being a positive player, getting everybody going in the right direction in a positive way. They talk a lot about energy vampires on here that suck the life out of the team, which could be a player, which could be a parent. And this book is very, very, very good. So, they have a website that you can also look for some extra information. The other thing I love to do at practice, after practice, is normally I do a little self-evaluation sheet. It looks like this. Hopefully you can see that. They have to rate themselves on how they performed at practice every single day. So I give them words. So our topic that week was glory. And what was your glory moment? And, why are we playing? And it kind of just, you can pick whatever topic you want here. But, I put lots of words here. And then they have to rate themselves low, below average, average, above average, and high. And then if anything is on the low side or below or on the average side, I usually have them list a comment right here so that I can get some insight on what was happening. Why was their energy low? Was it because, they have a test and they know that after practice at 10 o'clock they got to stay up, till 2 o'clock in the morning doing a project? So it kind of gives me some insight to what they're thinking. On this bottom part, then it says, what was your glory moment at practice today? So this part I absolutely love because it makes them focus on the good that they did at practice. There's so many kids out there only focusing on the bad, only hearing the bad, critiquing that you're giving them. And so that kind of helps just like bring in and let them in on that positive note going into the weekend or going into your tournament. So You can change these words up, which I love, and I'll email this to you if you want this paper. It's so easy. It's like 3 on 1, but it just gets, you know, the competitive side, and it gets you into their mind just a little bit more. I usually take this home and I will rate them. So if Jenny thought that, you know, her passion was extremely low, or if she thought her competitive was super high, but me as a coach, I thought her competitive was average or below average, then I'm going to write something there too, and then let them take that home. Individual talks, I think, are extremely important with your teams. You know, every week to a week and a half, I would try to schedule a little bit of time just to individually talk to them. It would never be during my practice time, either before practice or after practice. I would tell them, I'd even have a schedule printed out, and I would say, okay, you know, come and write your name on a 10-minute block, you know, and I'm going to be here an hour before practice to try to meet with everybody, you know, or something like that, to try to see individually what their goals are, what they want. But you could easily, if you don't have time to do that, put that on here, write this down. You know, you could put, you know, what's your goal for the next month, you know, of March, or you know, whatever. They can fill this out and just give you a little bit of insight. Or instead of what's your glory moment, you could have 2 questions down here that they have to answer. And, you know, if you have an assistant, have the assistant take half and have the head coach take the other half, or one practice I'm taking it, the next practice my assistant's taking it, you know, and kind of get that into the routine. When we do our pre-practice, we talk in our binders. You know, I'd also have them, you know, start warm up, so that, you know, in my 2-hour window, I'm not warming up, but I've already done my warm up. At the end of practice, I always do those exit slips. Sometimes we would do like a quick core workout, you know, if you had time to do something like that, but I think that that's extremely important. All right, so building energy in your team. If you can read the energy bus, that'd be awesome. One of my favorite drills to do is, it's just a basic 6-on-6 drill. You can side by side, so side A, side B, I'd put 3 to 4 cones on the outside of the court on the sideline, so here, and then the court, you know, is in the middle, and whoever, the focus could be communication. So if the focus is communication and one side's not communicating, I would go and I would pick up that cone from that one side, which would force them to, you know, to start immediately communicating. If all 4 cones were removed from the side, then I would, you know, immediately put them on the baseline and do a 360. My 360 is baseline and 10-foot line, back to baseline, back to the net, back to baseline. Opposite 10-foot line, baseline, baseline to baseline. Just a real quick, doesn't take a lot of practice time. We're not devoting tons of practice time to running, you know, but it just gives them that quick accountability that needs to be corrected. And it doesn't matter if you're on the 11s or on the 18s, everybody needs to be held accountable. So just remember that. So I would do that. I would also give them some incentives. So if they, you know, had an amazing practice and they had so much communication that I could not, you know, shut them up, then I would put some extra cones, and I would say, you know, the goal today is to make Coach Bourne run, or to make Brandis run, you know, and if you get up to 6 cones, any side, anytime, me and my assistant are doing a 360. And so that just makes it a tad bit more fun. And if you don't want to do that, then you could, you know, have a different incentive, whatever you want to. But definitely bring up the energy in your practice. The second thing I would definitely do in my practice is incorporate technology. These kids are living and dying on their cell phone. They want everybody to see everything. What we do is at practice, we would have one girl have her cell phone, the other girl is the partner. I'm, you know, working on my arm swing. It could be wherever. I could be in a group of 3. One person is in charge of holding that cell phone. The other 2 people are peppering, or, you know, working on your arm swing, whatever. But there's a video that goes on, and, you know, there's some apps out there that are amazing to use on your phone that are so easy. The Coach's Eye is one of my favorite apps. I can slow it down, rewind it. I can draw something on it, and then I can email it to them or text them. and they have instant gratification or instant feedback of what they're doing wrong. They can slow it down. On coach's eye, you can line it up with a great approach and then their approach, and then they can mechanically see what's the difference between both of them. Or you can overlap them, which is also pretty fun. And then, you can see one arm swing going up and then their arm swing coming up a little bit slower, so that is a great tool to use in your practice. If not, bring an iPad. Tell them, hey, bring an iPad from home. Everybody has an iPad at home, it seems like these days. So have them bring it to practice, utilize it in your practice, and hopefully those are just a little bit of things you can do in your practice this week or the next week to build a little bit more encouragement, a little bit more coach to player relationships, and hopefully a drill that you can use immediately starting today or tomorrow or whenever you practice next. Talk to you soon. I'll be hopefully live next week giving you a little bit more information. By no means do I know everything. Please keep on answering those help me help you request forms. I love those. Love getting to know you better as a coach. But I will see you next week. All right, talk to you soon.